to episode 13. Oh, heck. Hold on. Let me. I have OBS up over here. Let me stop having OBS up over here. Make it a little bit better. Look at that. I swear, every time I try and say hello. Let me say hello, please. I want to say hello to the people. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Saturn's Rants. Let's all say the magic phrase. I love procrastination. Yeah. In the last episode, I said I was going to start doing a consistent schedule of an episode on every 14th and 28th of the month. It is currently February 26th, and this episode, that would make this episode, what would that, 12 days late? You know, it's worse when I say it. It's worse when I say it out loud, the fact that it's 12 days late. Makes me realize how bad my procrastination has been. But we have some credits to give where credit is due first. Starters, this avatar is Goth No Least Spider by Anzai Inferno. And this world is just called Pool, and it's by Zippo. It's supposed to be like the pool rooms from Backrooms and such, which is getting a movie soon. It's official. The Backroom is going to be a thing. I'm kind of excited for. So that's going to be cool. I'm actually recording 2 episodes tonight. Because like I said, I've been procrastinating a lot, so I want to get both ready to go. This one is going to be uploaded as soon as I'm ready. And the next one's going to be scheduled for, what would that be? Saturday, I think is the 28th. Yep, Saturday, the 28th. Probably around 6 p.m. EST, probably. So, if you're watching this before that's out, stay tuned. Or before this is out. Wait. No, I said that right. If you're watching this one before that one's out, stay tuned for Saturday. And if you're watching this in the future, hi! How's everything going? Is the world dead yet? Are you one of the last survivors? I hope not. So today, or at least with this episode, I just kind of want to talk about what's been going on. Because, like I said, it's, I've been procrastinating a bit, so you guys haven't seen me in a hot minute, at least me as in me recently. I did completely finish my Upturned playthrough, which is all up and uploaded, but that was me from December of last year. It's just now finally done. But me, as of February 26th, like almost 3 months later, a lot has happened. But before I want to get into that, I do have one thing to say about this avatar. So these are like little spider legs that I have in my chest, and they, I'm going to turn down the world volume here in like 2 seconds. Let me actually do it now. They have little beans that I'll show you in like 2 seconds. They have beanies. Little beanies. Okay, that's better. Real-time editing. Not really. Just going into my VR chat settings. But, spider legs. No. I don't know if you can see. You may not be able to see. They have little beanies. They have little beanies. I swear. Actually get closer. Closer. Grab the camera. See, little beans. Do you see those beans? You see the little beans? I was talking like that for a solid like 2 minutes after I saw the. I was like, oh my gosh, little beans. They got little beans. And I guess we're sideways now. Hold on. Let me. For anyone just listening, just some camera work. Yeah, they got little beans. Like, oh my god, they had pink. Okay, you're really cute. But a lot has happened since last time you guys have seen me, personally. Actually, last time that you would have seen me was episode 12. Never mind. Episode 12 of the Rants. I don't remember what day that was uploaded, but it was sometime last month, I can tell you that much. Sometime last month. So, I went back to the job that I quit in October. Yep. For one real reason and one real reason. I'm broke. I'm like completely broke right now. I am dead broke. I have 92 cents in my bank account. It's that bad. And as someone that has, student debt to pay from the first semester of college, I kind of have to clear that up, which means I kind of need to be making money, which means I need a job. Now, I really didn't want to go back to the work I'd been doing, but it got to a point where it was like, it's the easiest job for me to get back into. Like, hands down. Okay, I say back into. It's the only job I could get back to, but it was the easiest job for me to get into, period. Because a job that I've already worked, and they already know me, versus any other one where I'd have to apply and do that whole process. So, I decided to go back. And apparently, the week before I went back, the boss manager, the general manager of the store, was actually trying to call me to ask me to come in and help out for a day, because that week was Super Bowl weekend, and they were getting slammed. But part of me being poor was me not being able to afford service for my phone, so they tried texting me via phone number. That wasn't activated. So I never got the text. They didn't have the help. And then a week later, I come along like, hey, do you want someone to help out until August? And they were like, yes, please. So I am back to working again. That's why I've been procrastinating so much, because I work 5 days a week, and the 2 days that I am off, I want to be completely off. And the rants, I've just been not wanting to do. Even though I love doing the rants. I love these rants. I love doing them. I love just talking to myself, talking to you guys, talking to myself. I do it all the time anyway. That's the entire reason why I made this series. It's because I talk to myself a lot anyways. Why not talk to myself and people, right? So doing both at the same time. Also, I'm just now thinking, I really hope that this song isn't copyrighted, because that is a pain to deal with. Because if I do ever get monetized and start making money off of this, that means that this video will be monetized, which would be suck. It would be suck. So hopefully. But that doesn't really matter right now. Yeah, no, so I'm back to working again. So I was like doing really well back in October when I was working with this job. So I came back. They were like, hey, if I train you up a little bit, would you be okay working like manager shifts, like opening and closing manager? And I was like, sure thing. Because one, it's higher pay, and two, it's more like job experience that I can say, like, next time that I try and go out and get a job again, I can be like, hey, I've been a manager for this restaurant before. I have a lot of experience with that. So I was like, yeah, sure. One other thing, I did say when I was asked, when I asked if they wanted someone to come back, I did say until August. I do want to explain that. I'm currently taking an extra long break from college, because I think I mentioned this in one of the other episodes, because calculus kicked me in the ass so hard that I got a 40% overall in the class. So I am switching majors to counseling instead, which, according to my family and friends, seems like a much better fit for me anyways. Because I love space and all, but the only reason why I went with astrophysics is because it was the only option that I had relating to space. Like, it was just an astronomy major, it was astrophysics. So I went with that just because I love space and it was the only option. But upon some thinking, counseling is a lot better fit for me, for reasons I don't want to get into here, and I really can't get into here realistically, but those reasons exist. So that's the plan, and my plan for work is I'm planning on working again until August, and then once August hits, I need to get ready to be living on dorms for the first time. The first semester of college that I went to, I was commuting, which both Mom and I have both agreed that we're not doing that again. Because me having to be not home for 13 hours a day was way too much, because I know I definitely talked about that schedule. I know I 100% talked about that schedule in an episode. That was last October. I know I did that. So, yeah. I'm not doing that again. But back to what I was talking about. So I'm gonna be a manager for Story. The one that my GM had actually asked me about was the opening shifts specifically. So what she did was, for the first week, of course, the first week of me being back, I wasn't actually officially on the schedule yet. So she gave me like a list of days that she wanted me to come in, and like via text message. And there were some days where she wanted me to come in the opening shift, to come and help out and learn some of the basics of doing that. And so I did. And I learned some of the opening stuffs, and I also did the same thing for some of my shifts into the night, for night shift, or closing shift, rather. So the way that the shifts work, opening shift starts at 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m. That's when the store opens, but I did mention, I don't know if I ever actually mentioned where I work, and I'm going to try and avoid that here. If I have already mentioned it, then I've already mentioned it. But I work at a fast food restaurant, so 10 a.m. is a time that the insiders, not the drivers, the insiders, usually like to get in and get things going. Like turning on all the lights, turning on the ovens and everything, getting the tills up, so that way, money can actually flow. But the orders don't actually start until 10:30. 10:30 is the minute where people can actually start ordering. 10:30 in the morning. So, yeah. And actually, I do think I've 100% mentioned where I work before, so I'm just going to do it. Papa John's. I work Papa John's Pizza. That's where I work. Just because it'll make some things make a lot more sense. For a lot more context. Right? Right. So, Papa John's Pizza, that's where I work currently. And again, orders start around 10:30. And then for an opening shift, of course, for an 8-hour shift, that means about 6 o'clock p.m. That's where that shift would end. Because, of course, you can only work 40 hours a week without going into overtime. So, of course, my GM doesn't really want me to get into overtime all that much if it's not needed. You know what I just realized? What I just realized is that I lagged by looking behind me. Do I have a special tail? Oh! That's a special tail. Hold on. It's gonna keep on looking at me. Hold on. No, I can turn around. Is it going to... Okay, yeah, it is. what an actually, it's not really much. Hold on. Flying. What do we got? What do we got back there? What do we got in that goose? Oh, it's just shorter. It's just a lot shorter than the Nobody's tail. That's all. Okay. I turned back around. Sorry, monkey brain just activated. I was really curious about that. Where was it? Right. Bob John's. So, of course, they don't really want me getting into overtime all that much. So, 8-hour shifts is usually where they like it to stop. So, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's where opening shifts stop. I've worked that a couple times. Very exhausting, but it's good money. Very good money. And then there's the closing shifts. These can start anywhere from like 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. That's usually where they end up starting. And then they go until usually about 11:30. But it really just varies on how the night's going. And I'll explain that. So, just like in the morning, of course, if orders start in the morning at 11:30, of course they have to end at some time. The last minute where someone can place an order is 11 o'clock p.m. That is where it's cut off, both for phone calls and for online orders. 11 o'clock p.m. is where ordering stops. Let me actually angle the camera down a little bit more. I need to stop messing with the camera mid-video. I always do this, and it always messes something up. But 11 o'clock p.m. is where the orders stop. Now, where I said that 11:30 is where the shifts usually end, that's because of end of the night things like dishes, cleaning up around the store, closing everything down. That's where that comes in. Because sometimes you'll be pretty ready to go at 11, but usually that's not the case. Usually you end up doing most of that at 11. And then 11, like 30 minutes is how long it takes, usually. So I've been, at least for the ones that I haven't actually run myself, for the ones where I'm just helping the closing manager, about 11:26 has been usual, actually. Like 11:25 to 11:27, somewhere in that range. I'm pretty sure 11:26 is what I saw both times that I clocked out. So that's the closing shift, which that one's a bit shorter, only being like 7.5 hours. Yeah, like 7.5 hours. So it's not actually like a full 8-hour shift usually, but that's fine. Like half hour isn't that bad. So, fun thing comes in. I have already, within a week, I've only worked like 2 weeks back. Within a week, I worked my first like running shift. I was a closing manager for last Saturday, which I wasn't supposed to be. I was not supposed to be. But a series of unfortunate events occurred, making it to where I was one of the only choices. So, the manager that was supposed to originally close that day had gotten sick and was out with the flu the entire week. Actually, just came back today, or technically yesterday, since I'm recording this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Lag. 2 o'clock in the morning, like right now, actually. So I'm recording this at 2 o'clock in the morning. He actually got back yesterday, but he was out sick, right? And we had a replacement for him. That was not me. He was, this person was meant to be the opening driver and the closing manager for the day. But the day before, last Friday, he slipped and fell, and I think sprained his ankle. So he was out, and obviously the GM, well, this isn't obvious, but the GM had already worked the past couple days and didn't really want to work again, and the only other option was already opening, so it would have been a double which left one option. This guy. So I, within a week of being back to working Papa John's again, closed the store, which went pretty well, I think, actually. So night had gone relatively smooth, like decently busy during dinner rush of like 6 to 8 o'clock, decently busy. I had two insiders. The opening manager was there for a little bit, and then I have two drivers. At 8 o'clock is when the opening manager got off. 10-hour shift. They work a little bit longer hours. I don't know why, but they work a little bit longer hours. So my opening manager was there until 8 o'clock. So I had everyone in the store until 8 o'clock. He's the first to go. 1 hour later, both of my insiders, who were minors, 15 and a half and 16 respectively, who can only work 5 hours at a time, it was time for both of them to go at 9 o'clock. And at the same time, I had figured one of my drivers could go home early as long as he got his dishes done. Because at that time, the orders really weren't all that busy. So I was just like, hey, if things don't pick up more, you can go ahead and go home early. So I let him do that. So at 9 o'clock, that's when it was just me and the closing driver. Which meant that as long as there was deliveries on the screen, I was in the store alone. Which is pretty much what happened. From about 9 o'clock to 10:30, there was consistent orders. Not many orders, mind you, but consistent enough to where I was busy the entire time. And of course, me being the only one in the store, that meant that I was making the pizzas, like slapping out the pizzas, topping them, putting them through the oven, getting them out of the oven, stickering boxes, and taking care of the front desk. Thankfully, no one called, which phone calls would have put a stop to me being able to do anything else. Because they take so much time, and obviously I can't just let the phone ring or go on hold for so long, or else they'll just hang up. So that kind of had to take away all my attention for a little. If someone had called, no one called, so it ended up being fine. And really, once I got past those orders, it was just hoping I wouldn't mess something up with the money, which I technically did, because one thing with pretty much all fast food restaurants is that you have to like count the amount of money in the cash registers every night and make deposits for it. And I had counted out my full deposit, forgetting to take out the tips for the night. So of course there's cash tips, but then there's also the online tips. The online tips was what I was supposed to take out, and I forgot about it until I was right about finished with everything. This was like 11:20, I think, before I realized. So at that point, I had to go back to the deposit, take some out. I had written down a log for the deposit, which said the amount of money, so I had to subtract that amount of money from that, which was 30. We actually made really good tips that night. 37 total with the cash tips, $37 total for tips, and then it gets split up between everyone that had worked inside. So it was between me, the two insiders, and the opening manager that it got split up between. Would have got split up between, and I'll explain that in a second. But I was able to fix all that, mostly. Apparently the next day, Sunday, the money was a little bit messed up, but it wasn't so bad that they couldn't really fix it. They were fine. They fixed it. But the reason why it didn't get split up between all four is because I forgot about the opening manager when I was splitting up the tips. So I'd split it up for 3 people, realized I forgot about him, and was like, fuck it, I'm not taking tips tonight. So I gave my tips to him, and then just called it there, because I didn't feel like splitting up it again, which everyone would have gotten like $9 out of it. It would have been good, but I didn't want to deal with that, so I didn't. So in terms of that, I'm going to be a closing manager again next week on Tuesday, so maybe in one of the next rants you guys will figure that out, how that went. But it won't be the next one, because I'm recording the next one right after this one, and it won't be the next one after that, because the next one after that is our routine The Test episode. That'll be episode 15, and I said every 5, I have 4 fingers, every five, we do the test game. So episode 15 will be the test. So you'll probably hear about that on the 16th episode, number 16. Yeah. Which won't be until the 28th of March. January, February, March. Yes, March. But yeah, that's just summation of that. I kind of went on a big rant about work. But to get away from work a little bit and more towards money stuff, reason why I say money stuff is I did the math. If I save about $400 a paycheck until August, I get paid every 2 weeks. If I save about $400 per paycheck, I've been looking at this very, very nice like protogen head company that's based in Italy, and I've been wanting to get a head from them for a little bit now. If I save up $400 per paycheck until August, I'll have enough by August to get the protogen head. I have a protogen head. Don't get me wrong, I have one. It was kind of a temporary. It was kind of temporary just for now. I've got it. I love it. But there are some things about it that I would rather have a new one. A couple things. This protogen head, I love it to death. You've seen a lot of protogen heads, they usually only have like the left and right screens, and in the middle is like completely blank. This one, it actually wraps all the way around, which is really cool. I like that. But that's the caveat of the visor itself, where I actually see out of being much, much worse than that of most protogen heads. Instead of only seeming like one layer of sunglasses at most, this one, if the room is dim enough, aka ever so slightly dim, like if I'm looking this way in my room, it's dim enough. I physically cannot see. It is more like 3 to 4 layers of sunglasses, which is kind of wild. It's a lot. It is a lot. So, in August, I'm planning on starting the commission for a new protogen head. That doesn't mean that I'll even have it by the end of the year. I don't know how long they take with their protogen heads. So sometime next year probably is when I'll be getting it. But at least for the time I commission it, I should be commissioning it in August. And plus with the timing thing, it's also coming from Italy. So even the shipping alone should take probably a couple weeks. But yeah, that's with the head. That's my main plan. Other than like using my money for student debt, like I had mentioned, the protogen head is like my other main plan with the funds from work. Other than just making sure that I'm fed and my cat's fed and I help out with bills. Other than those, protogen head is the main plan, which will be really, really nice. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. Work. Really, work is the main answer for why I'm so absent recently. Even though I technically haven't been absent, because for like the last 6 weeks I've been uploading weekly. It's just in terms of rants. Since I made that last one, I've been absent. because I was supposed to have one. The 14th of this month, of course, was Valentine's Day. I was supposed to have it by Valentine's Day, and I technically did have one recorded, but I wanted to scrap it because it wasn't great. So I scrapped it and then just never re-recorded it or went somewhere else to record it. So that episode didn't come out, and that episode is now this one, just 12 days late, pretty much. But yeah, that's really, unless I can think about something, that's really about it. I just wanted to update everyone on what's been going on. I guess I could give a little bit of update of some interest that I've had recently. AKA one game in particular, which you might have seen me stream. If you want to go see some streams VODs, those are all on the YouTube. Just go to the streaming tab, or live tab, or whatever, and you can find the VODs there. Of Casualties Unknown, the cruelest game I have ever played. It is so mean. So content warning for that. It is a brutal survival game. If you remember the avatar that I used in the last episode, called the XP, or Experiment, that is what that character is. Casualty is Unknown. That's what that avatar is about. It is a extremely dark and brutal survival game where your goal is to go down different layers in a giant cave and survive. As of right now, it's in its demo stages, so there's not actually any ending, but it's extremely dark and your character does die. So, content warning for that. If you want to go see those VODs, you can. I want to make some videos on it eventually, but as of right now, I'm not really good enough to even get to like the fifth layer. Because again, I have 4 fingers on each hand. I don't have enough skill as of right now to even get down to the 5th layer, so I want to... it loops every 5 layers as of right now, so that's why I'm mentioning the 5th layer in particular. But I want to make some videos on that eventually, but I want it to be actually content full. One other update. I have been recording a new Minecraft series, a solo playthrough with some mod packs, not mod packs, a mod pack that I made. So I will be editing those soon, and getting them starting to go out. Yeah. Oh, and I mentioned in the last one doing a video every week. That's not the Rants. That's going to be not as consistent because that would require me to edit every day that I'm off, because again, I'm working 5 days a week and then 2 days off. So during the 2 days off, taking like however many hours to edit would be a lot, especially with me wanting to relax. So that may not be happening. So yeah, that's probably about it for this episode. I said I was gonna record the next episode right after this, but I think I might do that tomorrow night instead. Because I'm only working 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow, so I'll probably end up recording that tomorrow night. Because my throat is starting to hurt from talking for like the last half hour. So I'm going to stop talking and bid you guys adieu for the night. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. And now you get to see the bit where once again, I open up my menu. Oh, what is this? Closing 5 apps, restarting, what's that about? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh Lord. we're good. This is when I tried to pull up OBS on my menu over here. I said bye a couple minutes ago. Oh. I said bye a couple minutes ago now. Look at me now, still here. So I was trying to open up OBS on my scene menu here, and it was saying shutting down all these because my PC was wanting to turn off. So I'm kind of hoping now that the video's okay. But yeah, so 35 minutes, 36 minutes. This is the real bye-bye. Bye-bye!